Hey guys, Michelle here with Torch40. We're gonna work on back flexibility today. So why is that important? It's important because not only does having flexibility in the back improve your physical performance, but it also decreases injury and it will help you take a joint through its full range of motion, which enables you to maximize performance when you're doing your strength training. So some of the gadgets that I use as part of my corrective exercise technique with clients: foam roll. We do this first. You need to foam roll before you stretch, because if you foam roll, you will end up being able to work out any knots in the body or in the muscles. It reduces tissue viscosity, or like the arterial stiffness. It will increase the circulatory system to the area and it will relax tissues. That way you can stretch deeper and better if you've hit those tight muscles with the foam roller first. So foam roller, that's one of the most important gadgets to use here. I also like bands. I use some of these long wide loops, or you can get the ones that don't fully loop. It's just a long strip of the rubber. I love Cork balls. These are the jam. I got these at I think the Five Below store. It's a stupid cheap random store. I find a lot of strange gadgets there that have actually come in handy big time. You could also just use a tennis ball if you have it. Another Five Below win is this little back stretcher. And actually I start with this with all of my clients. Before we go into stretching, we relax here. Sometimes I'm nice and I'll bring like a nice towel with some scented lavender on it to put under their neck. But this is a great tool. You can find them at Target, TJ Maxx. And then I have my son's bow staff from Black Belt Club. He trains weapons. I've actually used the rod for the Swifter, like the floor Swifter, a PVC pipe, anything incredibly lightweight, a broomstick, to do this one particular stretch for your lat, and that'll actually come later. So first, you have to inhibit your muscles before you stretch. So with the back, what I start off with is the back stretcher. If you have one, fantastic. If you don't, not a big deal. But we lay the wider part of that back stretch closest to your rear, all right? You're gonna line that foam part up with your spine, lay it down, and then just take a few nice big deep breaths, arms out wide like a T, and just lay here. Legs will be straight, all right? Sometimes my clients want to just go ahead and go to sleep whenever we're doing this, and I'm like, get up, it's time to move. So, foam roll. Next, you'll get the thoracic spine. Never foam roll the lower lumbar. That is no bueno, okay? So, this is just going to start right up here at the top part of your shoulders, behind the neck. All right, we're going to go for about 15 seconds, just right in between right below the shoulder blades, and then back up, just nice and slow. Now, if you find a sore spot or a tender spot, you need to pause and hold that for 30 seconds. That means you have a knot there and you need to buff that out. But in order to buff that out, you've actually got to hold that slightly painful position for a hot minute, okay? So 30 seconds if you find a tender spot. After we foam roll the thoracic spine, we hit those hamstrings. So typically people that have no flexibility, can't reach their toes, they've got tight hamstrings. And actually that ends up working its way down to the calf muscles as well. So in this seated position, you're gonna just relax your hamstring on the foam roller, lift those hips up off the floor. You're gonna roll underneath or behind that knee up to the glute. Again, nice and slow. And if you find a tender spot, hold for 30 seconds. But my recommendation, do this every day, 15 seconds. And then move down to the calves, starting behind the knee. All right, and then roll down. And you're gonna do that 15 seconds, switch legs. Okay, then with that foam roller, I'm sorry, cork balls. I'm gonna use the medium one today. This is why this comes in handy. We're gonna move over to the wall so you can see how I'm rolling here. All right, oh, actually, I do need the big one for your pecs. All right. So what we're gonna do actually is against the wall, we're going to roll. Oh man, this is some serious bad camera positioning. This is obviously not my forte here, guys. That's gonna fall. Well, I think you probably get the gist. I'm just going to press my chest up here and then roll right in between that armpit against the wall. I'm going to do the same thing for the scapula and the rhomboids. All right, so you just get that in all those good spots. It'll probably sound and feel a little bit crunchy. All right, and then let that ball slide down here towards your lats. Work those traps. That actually feels so good. I could stay there forever. Now, we're gonna hit the piriformis. I know I say that wrong too. And the TFL. So this is that connection side of like where the IT band and whatnot is. And then it, it reaches around, connects behind that sciatic joint here, comes around and down the leg. And then just roll right on that spot in the glute where that sciatic nerve is. That also releases a lot of tension that prevents you from getting that full range of motion in that forward bend for the back, okay? Again, I could just sit here and do this forever. Get both sides. If you're doing this at the gym, that might look kind of funny. People be like, what are you doing? And actually, when I'm training people at my gym, I take them in the kids' playroom because at 6 a.m. there's nobody in there and nobody can see that we're like rolling our butts against the wall, essentially. Okay, so those are my recommended foam rolling or self-myofascial release techniques of inhibiting the muscles and getting the blood flow. So now we're a little bit more warmed up, okay? And we can get in a better stretch. So first things first, let's go ahead and get the bow staff and do some ninja work with this. If you've got, like I said, just a broom or a PVC pipe, we're gonna start off with about a foot distance apart of the hands, okay? And now what I want you to do is elbows in, go up to a chair or stool that's about bench height, okay? Tucking elbows in, so you want your elbows to almost touch each other. And you're just gonna sit back. So butt goes towards those heels, you're on your knees, look down, and you're gonna feel a nice stretch in the lat dorsi here. And you're gonna hold that for 15 seconds. Okay, now, elbows out wide. So the reason we use the bar is to get the positioning correct and being able to lock your hands. All right, so now elbows are out wide on the bench, holding that bar again. All right, and then back in that seated position. So now you're stretching out your traps, your scapula, rhomboids, and release, again, 15 seconds. So then we like to go into child's pose. All right, so I'm gonna turn the camera again. All right, so you're gonna sit on those heels, stretch those hands out, rest your forehead on the floor. You'll feel a nice stretch in the lats and traps again here. Take some nice deep breaths. Hold that position for 15 to 30 seconds. And then grab your band. We're gonna stretch those hamstrings. I know folks that have trouble standing to reach the toes have just as much trouble, if not more, sitting and reaching for the toes. So that's where the band's gonna come in handy for you. So, laying on your back. All right. Raise one foot. Band behind the middle part of your shoe here. All right. And just pull that toe towards you. Try not to lock your knee, just a smidge of a bend. All right, and pull that towards you. Hold 15 seconds. Release, switch legs while you're still laying here. All right, we're gonna bend the knees, and we're actually going to take the arms out like a T. You're gonna rock those hips side to side, nice and slow. Try to get your knees to touch the floor in this rock. You want to hit both sides at least 5 times, okay? Now, from here we'll do a single leg crossover. So this is a great stretch for your TFL muscle. That is another big word that I have trouble pronouncing. It's like tensor fascia lata, but I usually just say tensor fascia latte because I like lattes. There you go. Raise that leg up straight, arms out like a T, cross it over the body. So you feel nice stretch all through your transverse, all the way down TFL, piriformis, and try to keep that opposite shoulder as close to the ground as you can. And then bring that leg up, take it straight down, switch sides, then bring those knees up, hold. Again, 15 seconds there. Now we're gonna do another TFL and piriformis stretch. Knees are bent. You're gonna cross one foot over the opposite knee, one hand through the legs. The other side, you're going to pull the hamstring up towards your chest. And release. So you're also relieving pressure off of any issues with your sciatic nerve and joint. And switch sides, pull that up towards the chest. You should actually relax your head. I don't know why I'm up here flexing like a crunch. And then release. What was the other one that I was gonna, taking the legs out wide, okay? So from here, you're gonna wanna take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, you're gonna reach as far as you can towards the center of your legs. Relax your neck and your shoulders. And then you're gonna do the same thing, reaching over to the right. If you can't touch your toe with both hands, just grab your wrist and hold. Another modification that I have clients do is tuck in one knee and then reach. And actually in this stretch, when you tuck the knee, you're gonna feel more stretching in those transverse abdominals here. And that will help with your mobility and flexibility of the back. And then you would switch sides, then tuck in the knee. And again, if you can't reach with both hands, just grab your wrist with the opposite hand. So we're gonna do hip flexors now. That's an important stretch to get in as well. So up on those knees, take one foot forward, lean forward. So the knee is gonna be in between both of your hands here. And I wanna show you, I wanna make sure that you're not putting a lot of pressure on your actual kneecap or your patella. You're gonna go lean forward so that you're on the meaty part on top of the patella here. You'll hold that 15 seconds, switch legs. And last but not least, you're gonna save the best for last. You're gonna come up, take a deep breath in, and then you're gonna release and just reach for those toes and let the arms dangle here. 15 seconds, come up, and then reach again. Trying to get more extension in the back, but this is why we're saving that for last, because now you've had an opportunity to go through, you're inhibiting any of those tight muscles, getting some of those knots buffed out. Then you're gonna lengthen, which is your stretching, and going through some full range of motion and mobility drills for the back, and then go into that, oh, let's see if I can actually touch my toes now. All right, so I would always save that one for last, but you should be doing this very regularly. My recommendation right now, at a minimum, would be following this particular method of corrective exercise before every strength or cardio day that you're doing, whether that's 3 days a week or 5 days a week. There is tons of benefit to adding this into your regular exercise routine prior to the actual exercise. So if you have any questions, please hit me up on social media, or you can email me at Torch40mi for Michelle Isgett at gmail.com. Thanks and have a great day.